Hello and welcome to my channel Capricorns. This is a reading for you today that I will be doing. I haven't done a reading for a while for Capricorns. It has been quite some time and I apologise for not being here and not doing a reading. I have been caught up with lots of other things happening, and so I'm trying to get back into doing more regular videos and actually add more videos to my channel as well. I just want to say, with my lights at the background again, I do not know what's going on. I've turned the lights out again to try and get them to sort themselves out, but it's very bizarre because I did a video a few hours previously before this one and the lights were perfect. There was absolutely no problem with them at all, so I don't know what that's about. But I'm just going to leave it as it is because I can't really change it. So, as I was saying, this is a reading for you Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp energy of Capricorns. Thank you very much for coming over to my channel and checking it out. My name's Colette. My channel is Inspiring Life Changes and I am an intuitive tarot reader with over 35 years experience. And the reading that I'm doing today is a general read, so it's not going to resonate with all Capricorns out there. And if your message isn't there, sorry, I'm just getting kind of distracted by the lighting in my glasses as well at this moment in time. I've actually changed that light that I have as well from a brighter light to a more yellow light. I know it's not very interesting for anybody who's wanting to just have a tarot reading, but I'm just trying to kind of work out what's going on here. Anyway, so general read's not going to resonate with everybody out there, all you Capricorns out there, so you may want to check out your moon or your rising or your Venus sign, and also if you are cusp energy of Capricorn, you're either going to be at the very beginning energy of Capricorn and moving out of the Sagittarius energy, so that would be the 0 degree point of Capricorn out of the Sagittarius energy, so you may want to check out the Sagittarius reading as well. Or you're going to be the other end of Capricorn, 29 degrees, and moving more towards the Aquarius energy as well, so you may want to also check out that reading if you fall in either of those two categories. So also, if you don't know where those placements are for yourself, if you don't know where your moon is or what your rising sign is, there is a free natal link in the description box down below, as there always is, for you to go and check that out for yourself, which is always worth knowing. If you don't already know your natal chart, it's worth looking into it and finding out more for yourself as well. It just gives you a bigger picture of what's going on within your own life, as well as being able to watch more corresponding tarot readings as well. So I'm going to start the reading off, and before I forget, I will also say cross watchers as well. If you're watching this for a Capricorn that you're in a relationship with, want to be in a relationship with, or have been in a relationship with, just be aware that this is a general read for a start, but it could also be your story that is being told here rather than the actual Capricorn energy itself, so just be aware of that as well. I will also be putting out a Capricorn love reading for any cross watchers who are interested. So we're starting the reading off here as your overall energy, Capricorn, with the 7 of Cups in reverse. And what came out for me immediately that I saw this was the fact that all these 6 cups here are upside down. And I kind of see this energy today as being kind of like you may have lots of options. You may be really confused as to what you want to do at this time, or where you should be going, or where your attention should be, where your heart lies, where your passion lies, where you're emotionally going to be satisfied. And this doesn't have to be to do with a relationship. This can be to do with work. It can be to do with life in general. It could be to do with anything that relates to a feeling of like confusion and not really having much much idea of what it is that you really want to do. But what I'm saying and what I'm feeling here is this cup right in the very center is the only cup that's left upright. It's still standing, so it's like all of this is kind of falling away, or all of this is kind of emptied. So it's almost like you know in your heart of hearts that this is what you need to be doing, or where you need to be focusing your attention at this time. And if you don't know that yet, it's like you will do, because these 6 cups here are kind of going to, I feel, either kind of just drop out of your life, so to speak. So the options are going to kind of get less and less and less until you're just left with 1 cup standing, which is going to be where your focus of attention is going to be drawn. So that's what's kind of coming through for me today with this card. And it's interesting because you do have the 6 of Cups come out again. So that's quite interesting coincidence, shall we say. So getting on with the actual reading, we have the Judgment card as your first card here, as your big energy card. It is a major arcana, and it's kind of saying to me, well, always when the Judgment card comes out, it is a big energy. It's literally, it's like judgment call on something. You are being called to make a judgment call on something in your life. It's like you know that something has to change, or you know that you've got to let go of something in order for something else to be able to move in. Interestingly as well, I was kind of drawn to this timer at the bottom, this sand timer, and it was kind of saying to me, this feeling, it may or may not be true, but you may be feeling, Capricorn, at this time, that it's almost like time's running out on something, that you need to make this call, this judgment call, as time is getting kind of closer to that point, if you like. But it's also saying as well that you kind of, again, a bit similar to this this Ace of Cups in the centre here, that you kind of already have some idea. You may not necessarily trust what you're feeling as well with the 7 of Cups in reverse. It may be that you're not really 100% certain in yourself at this time that what you're feeling about the situation or where you're heading, because normally when the 7 of Cups comes in, it means that there's a lot of opportunities, or you're making a decision about something. But there's a lot of options there, so it's that confusing stage of what's the best thing for me to do here. So there's a big energy, there's a big decision, it feels like, which you're being asked to kind of make a judgment call on, or to heed something, to listen to maybe your inner knowing and understanding, because you're covering or blocking energy. We have here 2 separate cards. We have the Queen of Cups, and what jumped out for me here again is this ace in your hand. So it does feel like that ace that I was talking about here. It's like all of these, again, it's like all of these are empty, but this is the one that is going to sustain you or fill you, satisfy you on an emotional level. And again, that doesn't have to be about a relationship. It can be, but it can also be to do with a decision that you have to make. It could be to do with work, it could be to do with friends or family, moving, anything at this time Capricorn, that is playing a huge part. It's like this is a big decision, a big kind of acknowledgement about something. Because the Judgment card is card number 20. So it comes just before the World card, which is the kind of ending of that cycle. So this is just before that card, the Judgment card. But this is what's really sticking out for me today, is this Queen of Cups holding this overflowing Ace of Cups or cup in her hand, and she wants emotional satisfaction. That's what the Queen of Cups is looking for. She wants to feel good, she wants to feel love, she wants to be able to give love, but overall it is about her own heart here that we're speaking about. Male or female, doesn't make any difference. It's not about the gender, it's about the energy. But the card that also came out with that card is the 9 of Cups, which is very interesting, because if you put these together you actually have the 10, which is that emotional satisfaction. The 10 is reaching that kind of pinnacle of emotional happiness. Of knowing what it is that you're wanting. And again, this is being the 9, it is about your wish fulfillment, but it is the covering card. It is what's covering this, it's what's blocking, it's what you're having to kind of work with at this time, so to speak. So it is all about an emotional situation, the need for that satisfaction, that need to feel something that is going to feed your soul, feed your heart, make you feel happy, make you feel good about it, good about doing it, good about making that choice to do it. And what's in your head, Capricorn, what you're aware of at this time, we have the 6 of Cups. As I was saying, the 6 of Cups here, what I'm seeing with this here is all of this kind of dropping away, these 6 of Cups here, and just leaving that Ace of Cups standing. So the 6 of Cups can be seen as, again, to do with emotional connection with something or somebody or a situation, a place. It's something that kind of stirs memories. It can be nostalgic. It can bring up thoughts of the past. But there is within the 6 of Cups an acknowledgement as well that you can't change what's been. You can only make a difference to what's coming into the future. But I also see this as these 2 3s here as well. So it is also about wanting emotional kind of balance here. Is how it's coming through for me, Capricorn. Like it feels like you really want to find this emotional like stability within yourself and this balance and this happiness about your life in general, but also about the choices that you make for yourself. And in your past and what's moving away from you here, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. And this is coming through for me as an energy of something that came up in the past, but you didn't necessarily follow it through. Like it was an opportunity to create something in your life, to make something worthwhile. Again, the energy of the fire is to do with passion and drive and that satisfaction that goes along with enjoying what you're doing, which kind of feeds into the emotional energy as well. But it feels like with this wand in reverse here that it was something that you kind of, that came into your life and it kind of maybe inspired you. But I feel as though it was something that didn't get picked up at the time. It didn't get anything kind of really done with it at that time. So you kind of walked away from it, you dropped it, you let it be, you let it go. But in the subconscious realm here, we have the Queen of Swords. And you have got nearly all the queens on the table. In fact, you've got the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. And there's one more queen as well, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the Queen of Swords is somebody who's very perceptive. And I'm seeing this yellow as, again, kind of relating to that creativity. It's kind of linking in with the solar plexus energy, which is about drive and doing and standing in your power. But it is also to do with the mind because it's swords, so it's also to do with being very perceptive, seeing very clearly, being very clear about something. Possibly also cutting out things in your life that are no longer working for you. Things that are no longer going to benefit you, going to help you move forward, help you find that satisfaction and that happiness that you're looking for. The Queen of Swords can also be an authority figure or a role model. She can be somebody who appears to be quite harsh on the outside, kind of unapproachable, even like quite stern, quite austere kind of character. But she's very, very what's the word I'm looking for here? She's very aware, very conscious, very... She doesn't suffer fools gladly, and she doesn't let fools into her life easily either. There's something else that's coming through here. And she's often been through a tough time in life as well. She's had those like experiences, those knocks and those the toughening up aspect is often because she's had hard situations to deal with and to go through in her life. Lots of tough experiences, but those experiences have given her a kind of wisdom, like an innate kind of understanding of people's character is what's coming through here. People's character. This could be your energy at this time, Capricorn, as well, that you're being very kind of not standoffish, but you may be kind of keeping people at bay, particularly if they don't fit into your how can you put it, into your I'm kind of being told bracket, kind of like bracket of life, of experiences. If they don't kind of connect in that same way, then you're kind of like just kind of turning your back on them, or just kind of like not, it doesn't feel like harshness, but it feels like it's almost for your own benefit as well, like boundaries, maybe putting down some quite strong boundaries at this time, Capricorn, to kind of keep people out that you don't want encroaching into your space at this time, is also what's coming through here. And the energy that you have moving in is the Chariot, the number 7 in the Major Arcana deck. In reverse, it does talk about a situation of things not moving forward, of things being out of balance or out of kilter, or not feeling as though you yourself have control over your own life, that you're the one, not the one in the driver's seat. It could be other people trying to kind of give you influences here as well. For me, I always see this as the Mars energy, the very kind of fast moving forward active energy of Mars. Mars, of course, is also the god of war. He wants to be doing, he wants to be active, he wants to be happening, and when it's not, when it's kind of stuck energy, there can be a lot of frustration around this, which can become kind of imbalance. That's what can cause that imbalance as well, is frustration of not being able to do what it is that you're really wanting to focus on at this time. And then we have the Page of Wands in the energy of where you are at this time. The Page of Wands is interesting because I see him with this wand here. So it feels almost like picking this back up and taking another look at it is how it's coming through. Something here that you put down in your past, you're going to take another look at, because it's a page, it's a young energy. So it's an energy that is easily kind of like put out, an energy that's easy for other people to trample on, to kind of maybe not support you in. But it feels as though you are taking a really good look at this. Whatever this was, it's almost like it's coming back around, and you're taking a really good look at it. You're really going to be focusing on whatever this particular creative endeavour of yours was that didn't actually get off the ground fully, or you didn't really give it a lot of time and energy and effort back then. But I feel as though now, Capricorn, you're going to take, like I say, take another look. And with the Queen of Wands coming out in your environment, it's almost like it goes from this young energy to this much more maturer, almost like you were, when it first came into your life, you weren't quite ready for it. And when it comes back into your life, I feel that it's going to kind of, you're going to pick it back up again, but it's going to be something that grows quite quickly. You're going to go from this page energy of not really, again, being possibly secure in yourself about it, not fully trusting your own confidence or capability with it, and yet it's going to grow and mature quite quickly into this Queen of Wands here, who is much more confident in herself, much more sure of what it is that she's doing, how she's going to go about it, and knowing that it's who she is, it's right for her, is what's coming through here. And in your hopes and your fears, which is interesting, you have the Eight of Wands. And you have the Devil energy as well. So the Eight of Wands is messages or lessons, things moving ahead, maybe things moving ahead quite quickly. With the Eight of Wands, things can be quite swift. It can go from being like stuck in this energy to suddenly something happening very swiftly. And it may bring up a lot of fear for you here, Capricorn. It may bring up this kind of something which could also have something to do with this energy here, this Judgment energy, because if you look closely, all of these here are actually tombstones, gravestones, whatever you prefer to call them. So it's like bringing things up from the past, which is also this energy here that I was talking about. But with this Judgment energy as well, there can be a release here, a releasing of things from the past, of letting things go, of like putting the dead to rest. And another reason I say that as well is because you have the Nine of Swords in reverse. And so that it does feel as though this kind of, like, this is going to fire something up within you. This is hopes and fears, remember. This isn't an actual situation as such. It's a hope and a fear, but a hope and a fear if you focus your attention. And again, it's almost coming through like, where are you going to focus your attention? Are you going to focus on it in a kind of more positive, swift moving, action orientated, this is good, this is positive, this is what I want to do with my life, this is what I should be doing, this makes me feel creatively inspired? Or are you going to focus it more on this Devil energy, which is more about the fear side of it, bringing up this dark worries and fears? You do at this time, Capricorn, I must say, have Pluto in your sign. So there is a lot of this energy around at the moment. For you especially, having Pluto in your sign is a big deal. And he won't be moving out until about 2024, I think. So he's still going to be around for a wee while, which could also be this Judgment energy here as well, and possibly also some of this as well, this feeling stuck, because Pluto can also do that as well. It's a kind of heavy transformational energy, and it can take some time for that to actually happen, for things to actually change and shift and transform. So, but it could be that you need to work through this toxic energy at this time. You need to kind of, especially with this Nine of Swords that's coming out here as well, this feeling of just going round and round in circles. Again, I feel as though it's kind of bringing up those fears, your biggest kind of nightmares about something, maybe failure over something. But with the Page and the Queen of Wands down here, I mean, they're very, particularly this Queen, she's very self-assured, very confident in who she is and what she's supposed to be doing and why she's here to do it. but it almost feels like a bit of a kind of final hurdle before you actually manage to get beyond this energy. And a lot of it is going to be down to where do you put your focus of attention. At this time. And because you can also keep yourself stuck by not wanting to move forward. You can actually kind of manifest that energy yourself of like, I don't want to move forward with my life. I don't want things to change. I actually want to kind of stay in this situation, even though you may not really want to. There's a part of you that may also just feel that it's easier to kind of stay in this kind of how can I put it, this kind of being used to like hard knocks of life, and like the idea of success can be more fearful than the idea of failure. And things happening quickly, you may want to put the brakes on. You may be putting the brakes on. So let's see what the confirmation cards are saying here for you, Capricorn. Okay, we have two cards here. We have the Shaman of Wands and we have the Five of Cups. So there's more fire energy, more creative, passionate, driven energy. This is the King of Wands, but he is in reverse. Again, it's kind of a lack of confidence, a lack of success, or as I was saying, it may even be that fear of success, fear of your own creativity and how far it can take you, fear of your own passion, your own drive about something, getting to that point of success, because the king is often seen as being the kind of pinnacle of achievement in many ways. Kind of a maturer energy, and it's come out as well with the Five of Cups in reverse. And the Five of Cups can be about disappointment, or is about disappointment, about self-disappointment, disappointment in the self. It can also be about feeling as though you don't fit into something as well. And that may be where you're at this time as well, feeling that maybe that you aren't creatively fitting into where you are at this time, that you do need to take yourself out of this kind of restricting situation, which is kind of coming through as this pot here, because this creature, I feel, is kind of leaving this pot. So he's kind of moving out of it, which could well be a situation in your life at this time that you feel that you need to move away from something. Because it's restricting you, because it's not allowing you to be happy, which is what you're aiming for here, is this happiness, this fulfillment, this emotional satisfaction. It could also be with the King upside down, as I was saying, that you may feel like you are not good enough, or that you have already failed at this situation because you didn't carry it through. So there may be this feeling of like, well, I can't do it again. I can't kind of go back to that, and a sense of disappointment in yourself, maybe, for not having done more at the time when you could have. But again, I feel as though it was due to this kind of more immature energy at that time. You may not have been ready, particularly with the King of Wands in reverse. It may have been too much for you. And we have the Three of Swords in reverse over the top of the Six of Cups here as well. So that's interesting, because the Three of Swords in this particular deck, you can see that she's actually got this blade kind of being, oops, sorry, that light's very bright, being pointed at her throat here. So you may have felt, Capricorn, that this was kind of a situation that you were in, or you feel as though you are in at this time as well. That maybe you're feeling you can't speak out about something. You're holding something back. Three of Wands often, Three of Swords. I keep calling it Three of Wands. It's the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords often talks about a situation of, well, it's a painful situation. A situation that kind of really breaks you in one way or another. It can be to do with betrayal as well. Betrayal by those you trust, or that you've put a lot of your self into, only to kind of be betrayed, or to not be given the same amount of respect, maybe, that you have given to others. Respect's not quite the right word I'm looking for here. It's an energy, it feels very strongly like an energy of, I keep getting betrayal, but it's more than betrayal on some level. It's like a real sense of like being stabbed in the back is kind of what's coming through here. And this can be to do with family, it can be to do with friends, it can be a work situation, as I was saying. But it feels as though you're having to kind of leave something, or you're being called to make a decision on something, a judgment call here on something that is no longer satisfying you, is no longer giving you that sense of happiness. Like I say, emotional fulfillment and satisfaction. Pardon me. And as I say that, we get the Ace of Cups over the top of the Ace of Wands, which is very interesting. As I'm actually seeing this Ace of Wands looking a bit like this figure here, who's diving into this kind of very large looking kind of cup. And so again, it kind of feels to me as though it is something that you are going to fully immerse yourself in this time. It's like it's coming round again for you. Whatever this situation was originally, that kind of you walked away from, is how it feels. It feels like you kind of dropped it. Like it was there was a passion behind it, you were really kind of inspired to do it and to enjoy it. But then something happened and you ended up kind of dropping it and walking away. But this Ace of Cups here is saying to me that you're feeling, and it's kind of this bit here as well. I'm almost seeing this bit as this cup energy of kind of really diving into it. And this diver here. That it's time to kind of dive back in there. Find what makes you happy is what's coming through. Finding what makes you happy. It's not about what makes anybody else happy. It's about what makes you happy. What do you want to immerse yourself in, Capricorn, that is going to give you the satisfaction of doing it? Is what's coming through. Again, it can be to do with a relationship. It's not necessarily. This isn't a love reading, but that doesn't mean it's not about a relationship. But it feels like there is a situation that you're going to, like I say, immerse yourself in this time. And that maybe you weren't ready for it last time. Maybe you kind of had to go through other things, like with this Queen of Cups, Swords energy down here. You had to learn some lessons here. Queen of Swords can also be tough love as well. Hard situations that toughen us up, but at the same time can kind of give us more experience of life and an understanding of life that we wouldn't have had we not gone through those situations. So the Queen of Swords can also be a really good counsellor as well, even though she's not so much like the Queen of Cups connected to her heart energy. Although I do feel that this is coming in, that you are opening back up to that energy if you have been closed down because of it. It does feel that that's your search at this time. So it's like changing this sword for this cup here, this heart, which of course we have here as well in this Seven of Cups over here. And we have the Two of Swords over the top of the Queen of Swords. But this swords is actually feathers. So that's what I feel with this Queen. It is kind of like something is becoming lighter for you. Again, decision, Two of Swords. And it could also have something to do with opening up this heart chakra, like a decision, like a judgment call about to do that or not to do that about this situation. But the Two of Swords here is also creating this kind of infinity symbol with these feathers, which is a kind of symbol of like eternity. But I also feel, as I was saying, that it somehow connects with this energy of experience of having gone through those hard knocks of life and becoming experienced about things in a way that you otherwise wouldn't have done. But it also feels like there's more of a grounding here as well, even though she's standing on one foot. Almost like now, you know, almost like you could do it with your eyes closed, whatever that is. But it's that kind of sense of a feeling that's coming through to me, the experience. Something is lightening, something is softening within you and making a situation easier. Because of these feathers, because of the fact that she's holding these feathers instead of holding swords. It's like more to do with messages, more to do with kind of being more open is also what's coming through here. Being more open to accepting. That's how it was, that's how what you had to go through. But I also see it as past and future energy in a way as well. And the fact that it's all connected, that there is no kind of separateness to it. It's like coming, again, it's that feeling of coming full circle in something. Even though it is, it's not a circle. It's a figure of 8, and 8 is also about fate and destiny. And a kind of awareness that that had to happen, whatever that was at that time, that you had to walk away from, leave behind or drop, had to happen. As I say that, we get the Hangman over the top of this. Definitely a time for not making any rash decisions, I would say. Not trying to force anything to happen, not trying to make something move forward if it's not ready to move forward. But again, this could also be you feeling as though you're not ready to move forward yet. Looking for more insight. Looking for a new understanding, a new perspective on something. Which is possibly why you're blocked here, why you're not moving forward. I just feel as though there's an energy of not quite being ready. Hangman is up the right way. So there's still something, it feels like there's still something that you need to understand or realize or come to some kind of like surrender something, let something go, which again could also be to do with this energy as I was talking about earlier. The need for forgiveness for yourself maybe, or for the situation from the past, in order to change the energy for the future, is how that's coming through. Something that you still need to realize on a deeper level of knowing. It's like at the moment it's kind of intellectually there, you understand it on an intellectual level, but it's like here it needs to be kind of integrated into your psyche, shall we say, into your like deeper knowing, like, now I get it, now I see the bigger picture. Now it makes sense. Now I can move forward. So let's see what the Page of Wands energy is here. Whoops, we have a flyer. The Six of Discs in reverse. So the Six of Discs is an energy of reciprocated energy itself. If you see here, there's a massage being given from one person to the next. It's like sharing of energy, but it's in reverse here, and it's come out over the top of this Page of Wands. So this could also be the blockage here as well. This could also have something to do with this Hangman energy, this holding back on your own energy here. Holding back, not sharing, like conserving your energy here. Or exchange of energies here. Again, it's come out, or it's over the top of this Page of Wands, which I feel is you really kind of focusing your attention on this energy, on that situation from the past, which is coming back around, which could make you feel as though this is a time for you to be very much like limiting what it is that you share or give out to others. Conserving, I keep getting conserving your energy, conserving your conserving your energy. Is what's coming through. Not overdoing. Not overdoing anything at this time with the Six of Discs. Because it is an energy of compromise, it's an energy of give and take, reciprocity, balance again as well. Because in giving and taking, there has to be an equal flow, which is what you're looking for, and maybe you don't feel as though that is happening at this time, Capricorn. Maybe you don't feel as though you're being, but maybe you feel as though you're giving out more than you're receiving back. And then we have the Ten of Wands in reverse over the top of the Queen of Wands here. And for me today, this Ten of Wands is kind of saying it's time to it kind of fits in somehow with this Six of Discs here as well. A lot of fire energy on the table though. Ten of Wands is usually about heavy burdens being carried that you no longer need to carry. It's time to drop them. It's time to let them be, let them go, release them. But it's also coming through with this kind of feeling of this group energy that you have put a lot of time and energy and effort into and with, and it could be related to this Three of Swords up here as well. But it feels like people that you've spent a lot of time with, people that you know, and you've put a lot of your heart and soul into them, given them a lot of yourself. But it almost feels like now it's time to kind of move past that, move beyond that. It feels like this could be a work situation. Because that's what's coming through for me with this 6, is like you need to conserve your energy instead of giving it into this, whatever this is for you. Again, it could be family, it could be work, it could be friends, it could be a relationship, but it's something that needs to be released. It's something, it's an energy that you need to move away from, is kind of how it's coming across to me. So it's something that is very draining for you, Capricorn, something that takes a lot of your energy and doesn't necessarily, like I was saying, give you anything or very little back. And it doesn't feel like that's where your heart lies. It doesn't feel like that's what's going to make you happy. And it kind of feels as though it's served its purpose, it's had its time, it's done what it needs to do. And it also feels like the sun is kind of setting in the background here. Like it's time to move on from that energy and kind of find you within it all. Is also what's kind of coming through here. And then over the top of the 8 of Wands and the Devil energy for your hopes and your fears, we have the 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups can often be seen as a card of celebration. And it's weird because I'm getting it, interestingly, it's like almost like when you come out of all this, which is very chaotic, very kind of, it feels like a lot of chaos and mayhem and noise and confusion and it doesn't feel as though it's a good or pleasant situation for you to be in at this time. And then with the 3 of Cups, I'm seeing it as a kind of total opposite of this. It's like coming out of all this chaos and finding some peace. Almost like finding a new tribe or people who you now connect with, who maybe you wouldn't have connected with before. A sense of maybe outgrowing something. With this Queen of Wands as well, so as I was saying, it's kind of going from this page to this Queen, so it's a maturing energy. So it could be that you're outgrowing something. Because it's over the top of this energy here as well. So there may be, you may feel with this energy here that you're tied to something, that you are emotionally bound towards something or bonded towards something, but it's not healthy. It doesn't feel like a healthy situation. And although traditionally the Three of Cups can be seen as a kind of reconciliation energy, it could be a reconciliation of you kind of coming back to this here. Like reconciling with something within yourself, which is going to bring you that kind of sense of purpose and celebration and satisfaction and happiness. And the Three of Cups for me also talks about a situation of, like, do I want to continue putting my time and my energy and my effort into this? Is it worth my while? Or do I step away now? Do I say, right, enough's enough? Because it comes after the Two of Cups, when the initial attraction of two people coming together creates something new with the three. But it's that point where you're kind of just starting to realise that either you do want to continue with that situation, or you want to bring it to a close. And we have two separate cards. Okay, interesting. We have the Priestess of Swords, which in this deck is the Queen of Swords again. This time she's in reverse. And we also have the Six of Wands. Over the top of this Nine of Swords as well, which kind of feels like coming full circle about something. But it's also kind of bringing up a lot of that fear and those worries and that stress and that kind of sense of, I can't do this, I'm going to fail at this, I can't. It's like all the worst possible scenarios that you could possibly think of kind of going through your head, constantly running on like a loop of kind of self-destruction, if you like, self-disbelief, which kind of can become a self-fulfilling prophecy as well. And with the Queen of Swords down here in reverse, it's kind of, again, it kind of feels like that sense of you can go down that route and you can kind of prove yourself right by kind of alienating yourself, is what's coming through here as well. Or like staying with the within that boundary, if you like, your self-imposed boundaries as well. With the Queen of Swords, there can be self-imposed boundaries of not believing that you can. But with this Six of Wands here, it's very much a sense of victory overall. A sense of realizing that you can and you will achieve what it is that you want to achieve. But it feels like it's going to come after a time of having to really kind of take another look at your own, like, like why your mind takes you down that path, that route of kind of, like I was saying, worst possible scenarios, worst possible nightmares, all that kind of thing, and then realizing that it's just going to put you in this place of kind of like it's very barren, it's very kind of, it's kind of isolated. And when I say isolated, I mean in a sense of being very possibly self-sufficient, very independent, but again maybe not happy with the situation. But it kind of feels like a breakthrough as well on some level, that at some point you're going to see where you're heading, you're going to see where it's taking you, and it's going to bring out this side of your energy, this fiery, creative, driven, like, I can do this. This is what I'm saying. I can do this. I have the ability. I have the fire and the passion. It's all within me. I can either choose to kind of continue with this hardship and this difficult path, or I can tap into this energy here, which is going to bring you a lot more creative satisfaction. I mean, the Six of Wands is about being seen, celebrated, recognized. So that could also be a fear element here as well, or partly some of the reasons why you want to kind of hold back, and why you focus more on this negative side of the situation rather than on the positive, and possibly what you learnt from it and how it has helped you to grow through it. You have 3 queens on the table at this time. The only queen that's missing is the Queen of Pentacles, but the other 3 queens are here. So there is growth. And there is this deeper kind of understanding of something as well, it feels like. So let's quickly pull a Keepers of Light card to see what their message is for you, Capricorn, what they would like to say at this time for Capricorn. What is the message for Capricorn, please? Source of all that is. For Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising. Lovely, Holy Amethyst, which actually has come out in reverse as well, so it's saying it's a really important message, and it's talking about divine alchemy, which is kind of this energy here as well. So move beyond current challenges, focus on what you desire. So let's see what she has to say. Here we go. Holy Amethyst is the twin flame of Archangel Zadkiel, the angel who helps to transmute negative experiences into love and learning. He is the keeper of the violet flame, which helps to release anything that is no longer serving us, which is kind of what I was saying earlier. Amethyst also, I'm just going to lift my glasses up here because it's easier for me to read without them. Amethyst also enables us to look over our past fears and challenges and draw wisdom and learning from them. Unlike Zadkiel, for many years, she was not mentioned in spiritual texts, and I believe this was because her miraculous support wasn't needed on Earth as it is now. To connect deeply with her light, hold her namesake crystal. Amethyst, beautiful crystal, connects you with the higher divine, and it also helps to protect from those who want to take your energy as well. So it's worth, Capricorn, having a piece of amethyst. If you don't have a piece at this time, get yourself a piece of amethyst. Doesn't matter how big, just carry it on you. They're very easy to get hold of. So the extended message here is you are ready to move beyond energies or situations that are no longer helpful to you and make space in your life for something more purposeful, which is exactly what I was feeling with this energy here. Moving beyond this energy, whatever that energy is for you in your life. You may feel a real need for clearing out, not just mentally or emotionally, but physically too. There is a sense that you are moving beyond challenges and forging golden opportunities from stagnant or unhappy experiences. Also this Hangman energy as well, I feel. It's important to recognize that you are like a magician at this time. There's your wand. As I was saying, something that you put down, but you're picking it back up again. With the ability to use your thoughts, will and actions to bring about life-fulfilling and dream-enhancing opportunities. That's this energy, but it's also this energy as well, where you're putting your focus of attention, as I was talking about earlier here. It's important to focus on what you desire and not what you fear, because what you give your energy to will literally begin to flourish. Call on Holy Amethyst to help you focus on golden opportunities. That's kind of summed up the whole reading in one small card. So brilliant. Holy Amethyst, Capricorn, wants to help you let go, move on. Find your sense of satisfaction, your sense of peace, happiness, your victory over, and the victory feels like a victory over yourself as well. That's another interesting part of it. There is something that's coming through that, as I was shuffling those cards, I was thinking there's something else that's needing to be said here, and I feel that that's what it is. It's like this is a victory over your own self-doubt and your own feelings of lack of ability. So we have generosity. Interesting card. And it says, generosity is a quality of spirit. It is rejoicing in the good fortune of others even when you have nothing to celebrate yourself. That's these two energies here. It is an attitude of mind, which means that you are happy to give without expecting in return. Drawing this card invites you to be generous-hearted and indicates that you are ready to aspire to this noble quality. Angel wisdom suggests that you give of yourself freely, openly and lovingly. So maybe that's what this is also about. Maybe that's what you're needing to do here. But I also feel as though you need to conserve your energy at this time. The rewards for generosity are great, for all that you give from an open heart is returned to you multiplied. And the affirmation is, I am generous-hearted. And I think that is true, but I also think that there can be an overgiving where you're actually depleting yourself, you're depleting your own energies because you give too much of yourself. So I think that there does have to be this kind of balance here as well, which could also have something to do with this Chariot energy, because that also talks about a need for balance of the head and the heart. Because sometimes when we are generous and when we do give of ourselves all the time, then that can be taken advantage of as well. That can be taken advantage of. So we do need to know when to draw back and reserve that energy for ourselves rather than allowing it to be depleted, is what's coming through for me as well here. So I'm going to finish the reading there and say thank you very much for listening and watching it. I do hope that you've got something from it. Please, if you have, could you thumbs it up for me, give it a like, because that really does help my channel to grow, which is what I'm really trying to do at this time. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please could you also do that as well, because like I say, I really want to grow this channel. Thank you very much those of you who have liked. Thank you very much those of you who have subscribed. I keep going up and down between like the 147 mark to the 148. I even got to 149, but then it went back down to 147. I don't know if it's YouTube messing about or whether people are actually unsubscribing because I'm not doing enough videos, which is a possibility. So I am going to try, like I said, and get more content out onto my YouTube channel as well. But there is a playlist for anybody who's interested if you want to go and look at my videos that I've done previously, all the full moons, all the new moons, both the astrology and the tarot readings for all of them as well. And I have got quite a few of the zodiac sign readings up there as well. If you haven't looked at any of them, please do go and have a look, and if any of them grab your attention, the titles will be what's important, because there are no dates, because crap happens all the time. So it means that, you know, if you see it and it's resonating with you at that time, then take it as a reading for yourself. And so with all that being said, I'm going to say thank you very much again, Capricorn. Please take really good care of yourselves, and hopefully I will see you on the next one.